Alright, what is this game even? Hey everyone, my name is Mac, and welcome to my first playthrough of Soulstice. This is a game from a studio called Reply Game Studios. It's a AA action adventure, or a hack and slash, or a character action. I'm not entirely sure, since I never played the game. But I want to give a shout out to Jur the Orc 8117 for commenting on my video from about a month ago, where I talked about the the comeback of character action games this year. And they mentioned Soulstice as one of their favorite types of those games. So I have to imagine it's character action, though it's from a smaller studio, definitely not a brand name, well-known franchise such as Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance, or Ninja Gaiden. So it's gonna be interesting. I am very curious to see what this game is like, and I'm going to be playing for up to an hour, I would say. Check the game out, play up to an hour, come up with some impressions, and if I like what I play, I'll probably do another episode or two of this game to get further in and experience more of it. Yeah. So, I'm just going to jump into the settings very quickly. I'm playing on PC. Graphically, I've got it set up to my standard windowed full screen. I've set the DLSS to auto, though I wonder if I just put it on my balanced. I'll put it on auto, let it figure it out. VSync is on by default. FPS lock, I typically don't go unlimited, but the next step down is only 60. So I'll just stick with 60 FPS. And cutscene FPS lock, 60 as well. Leaving the brightness and contrast alone. Anti-aliasing very high, shadows very high. Everything else is pretty much maxed. Yeah. So we're good with that. I don't tend to mess around with the default controls or the camera settings. Audio, I have it hopefully set at a reasonable 70% on master volume. It supports multiple languages, as you can see here. I don't know what this language is, but I know it's Dutch, English, Spanish, French, Italian, Chinese, Korean, Portuguese, this could be Japanese, or Simplified Chinese, one of the two. I think we already passed Japanese. Anyway, we're gonna keep it on English, and I'm actually going to get out of the settings right about now because I think I've seen enough. I think you've all seen enough. Soulstice. Now, the first time I heard this game, I believe I was browsing the Xbox game store from my Series X, and I saw this and had no idea what it was. It looked like bargain bin software, if I'm being completely honest. Totally unknown IP, never heard of the studio or even the publisher before, and so I just sort of passed it up. So I'm really glad that one of my viewers commented and recommend this game for me to try. And not that I'm getting any kickbacks or anything, but as of the publishing of this video, you can probably still find this on sale on Steam for like 75% off. I think it's dirt cheap right now. It's gonna be on sale for another few days after this video gets published. So if it looks cool to you, maybe, just maybe, you might want to give it a spin. So, on to the new game. So they have 5 difficulty settings. That's not something you see very often these days. Default is Initiate. Play Soulstice facing a reasonable challenge. Next up is Knight, which seems to be the middle difficulty. Face arduous battles that will put your skill to the test. So they have Chimera difficulty and Transcendent. Now these are locked. So the first 3 difficulties are the default ones. So it does look like Initiate is intended to be the normal difficulty. So I will do a Initiate playthrough. Oh yeah, you do a quick controller diagram. I'm not gonna bother memorizing any of this. I'm just gonna let the tutorial teach me everything. So ground rules for how I usually do these pre-recorded playthroughs is that I will keep quiet during cutscenes and extended dialogue sequences. But when there's pure gameplay happening, you'll hear me jabbing on with my commentary. Yeah. So let's get underway.
In the beginning, the world was subjugated by chaos. Then, the Keepers came to be: Torchbearer, Shaper, and Judge. The 3 fought the spawn of chaos, and ultimately, they prevailed. Chaos could be banished, but it could not be destroyed. So the Keepers weaved a veil of their own essence and stood guard. The world was now safe, but it was also empty and meaningless. Thus, the Keepers reached beyond the veil. They seized the power of chaos itself. They gave it shape and purpose. They created life, and man was their most perfect creation. But all life would eventually hear the call from beyond the veil. Thus it happened that, alongside life, death also came to the world. The great cycle was set in motion. Yet chaos hungered for more, and sought to undo the Keeper's creation. The spawn of chaos struck, wounding the Keepers and tearing the veil. Endless droves of horrors trespassed into the world. And so came the Soulstice of Souls. Hurt and weak, the Keepers charged man with defending the world. They inspired man to fight fire with fire, ferocity with ferocity. Driven by the infinite wisdom of the Keepers, man turned the very power of chaos against it. Through sacrifice and resolve, a breed of sacred warriors was created. 3 were wounds in the essence of the Keepers. 3 the mighty battles fought and won by the champions of man. 3 the sacred cities that were built in those hallowed places. Eventually, the Soulstice of Souls was put to an end. The 3 cities still stand to this day for the glory of the Keepers, while the memory of the sacred warriors has been lost to time. But while the mortal body must perish, that which is immortal is bound to be reborn.
too enthusiastic. Someone here is more than eager to welcome us.
Oh wow,
It began here somehow.
we're in it.
What could unleash such immense power?
If we survive, we might find some answers. Now let's focus on destroying these things.
Ooh, there's a lot of enemies. How do oh, I switch weapons by accident here. How do I switch? I want to switch off the bow. How do I do that? Okay. I got no time to talk. They throw you right into the action. It's weird. Combos will switch to the bow for me. And then now it's...
Not again. I actually think that we may turn the situation to our advantage.
What do you mean?
We'll find out shortly. Prepare yourself.
Feels like I am not really meant to lose in this section. It's impossible to be defeated, but we'll see. Oh, shoot. What happened? Who the heck is this? Why did I get that creepy smile?
Can you feel it now? We're making the most of this time. Now get rid of these other wretches. When it returns, it shall have undivided.
It's very hard to see what's going on. Very busy. There's probably a situation where they start me off at max power, and then they strip away all my powers. So I have to earn everything back throughout the game. Just a guess. There's a level in Bayonetta that's just like this, with all the floating platforms.
Don't worry.
You're kind of free falling and hopping from platform to platform.
Just won't give up.
I'd be disappointed if it did. Now it's our turn.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. That's a pretty awesome intro. I feel like this studio, I don't know how large Reply Game Studios is. I think I mentioned they're based out of Milan, Italy. Did I not? Anyway, they're Italian. No idea how large their studio is, how large the team was that worked on this game, but looks like they're punching above their weight. I mean, I assumed there was a small team, and yeah, that's a hell of an intro. Everything looks good. Like, art looks good. I really like the stained glass windows that they had in the introduction during the narration, and just the overall choreography, the camera work, really top notch. And then so far, the gameplay feels pretty good, although I have no idea what's happening. A little flashback. Oh, the art is actually really nice. Not necessarily my style, with the art direction. The kind of more anime, cartoonish looks. Not typically my thing, but just the overall quality is quite nice.
I can hear their cries. It's all the lost souls.
The Order set a small tear. Not that the world's veil ripped apart. Look, there, above the cathedral.
Ilden, one of the three capitals. The seat of the torchbearer.
Once the light of the kingdom. Now it burns.
I can't do this. It's too much. I can't even fathom why the others have us deal with the other chimeras. I'm not ready. We are not ready.
To them, we are just Briar and Loot. The outcasts. I say this is our chance to prove ourselves. We can't waste it. Anyway, we're late. Can you sense the others?
The echo of the dead is just too strong. It dulls my senses.
Loot, you need to focus.
Forgive me. I will do better. Whatever ripped open the veil must be powerful.
Let's look for our observer.
He should be able to tell us more what transpired here.
Then we best find him quickly.
Waterfront Docks District. Wow, this is a very intriguing looking setting. Actually, a lot of detail, actually. I love the lighting. If this wasn't an action game, I'd want this to be an RPG right about now.
The touch of chaos always leaves traces. Taking the weakest first, turning them on the strong. It is needlessly cruel.
I know all too well how chaos corrupts and kills.
I'm sorry, sister. I didn't mean...
We have more important tasks than mourning those we can't save.
We were saved. Do not forget.
Primary attack. Some items can be broken. Press Y to destroy them with your weapon. Or X. Crimson Tear Residue. Red chaotic residue from the tear in the shape of dust, shards, or crystals. It enhances the capabilities of an Ashen Knight. Collect and spend them to increase Briar's abilities. So it seems like Y is strictly sword attacks, while X is this polearm hammer thing. Okay, I was actually treating it like light and heavy attacks during the prologue. It was actually weapon specific. Okay, they're using more of a fixed, a moving, somewhat fixed camera. Kind of similar to the old God of War games.
To think that it all happened in a matter of mere hours. It's terrible.
Okay, so where do I go next? Yeah, I figured out that much. Yeah, the way they switch camera angles is a little jarring. They don't do it like this anymore. Most games. This is a bit of a throwback.
These docks spread for miles along the bay.
Okay. So I will be skipping these lore entries in these videos just to keep things moving.
They once teemed with life. And now,
It's like this city has been dead for years. Layton is no more loot. We'd better get used to the idea.
I did not expect to be breaking so many barrels so early in the game. You know what? There's a section of the docks here that I didn't check out. There we go. Tell me about the double jump.
The tear. It is as if it were a living being.
I can feel it breathing.
So which way am I supposed to go? Like, what is the critical path? Because they let me to go this way as well. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I thought the other direction was the critical path. But it looks like here may be the critical path. Okay, let me double back and make sure that I'm not missing anything. It does bother me a little bit when I feel like there's a path that I'm not exploring.
Come to an end.
Unfortunately, it's all I'm good for now.
We are not alone.
So this is the way, I suppose.
These broke. They would just be
see them.
Counter type slow. Loot is able to defend Briar from most enemy attacks. When you see the target triangle, press B to react to the incoming blow. And then loot does the counter for me? Interesting. The most basic counter that loot can perform is a slow counter. This action briefly freezes time around the enemy, allowing Briar to move away and avoid the attack. Over the course of her journey, loot will become able to slow down stronger enemies as well. Counter execution. Timing is critical. Your reflexes influence the outcome of loot's defensive actions. If your reaction is too slow, you will miss the counter opportunity, and Briar will be exposed to the attack. If your reaction is quick enough, you will perform a perfect counter. Be careful not to press B when no enemy is attacking you, or loot will be distracted when you need her the most. No spamming. No spamming the counter. I'm watching the demonstration to... That was too late. That was too late. Or too early. That's perfect. Try me again. Oh. And you get graded at the end of each combat. This is what DMC does. Wow, they have a lot of different modifiers and criteria. Platinum. New codex entry broken. I wonder if I can upgrade my abilities yet. I seem to be picking up a lot of these shards. Oh, you can do an air dash. That's nice. I gotta go back to the other area now. I'll eventually make progress, I swear. Maybe these levels are designed to be explored like this, in a somewhat non-linear fashion. Ashes of a fallen chimera. In their darkest hour, a chimera can find inspiration in this memento of those who came before. If you have been defeated, use this item to get back into the fray. How to use items. I can't, the skills menu is locked right now, so. We're still in the tutorial. Okay, oh, wait a sec. There's more. No, end the line.
I'm itching for a fight.
No, end the line, okay. Back on track. You don't really need to do a dash cancel in this game, eh? Just keep spamming dash. Can I kill this guy?
Imagine living in such a crowded city.
A place like this is a feast for wraiths.
Why did I get up here? But press X to land heavy blow of your Ashen Fall Enforcer. Rotating camera. Battles in open spaces can be quite crowded. When the symbol eyeball is visible in the bottom right corner of the screen, you can use right stick to rotate the camera and get a clearer view of what is going on around you. I mean, I feel like I have to do that a little bit too much. Camera lock. You can decide to focus and lock the camera on a specific enemy by pressing in right stick. To change target, move the right stick. To lock off, press right stick again. Oh, it's too late on the... I'm missing my counters. Counter type barrier. Most melee attacks can be countered by a barrier. A barrier counter blocks one close range attack from a low class enemy right before Briar is hit. Over the course of your journey, loot will become able to block attacks from strong enemies as well. Well, how do you do a barrier then?
She is my knight.
I don't know if I like to lock on actually. I don't think I got platinum this time. Ugh, only a silver. I will say the counter system is different. And as a result, it feels a little bit weird. I hope I get used to it.
They're drawn to us like moths to a flame.
They can't resist the lure of life. Even though it comes from us.
Oh shoot. Got hit by the run-of-the-mill mindless thrall. So many breakables. That's cool.
It feels like someone is watching us. It's unnerving.
Kind of cool running on top of the overturned Shipwreck. Right there. For some reason I thought I couldn't get through here, but Longshore Wharf.
Sister,
What was that?
I felt the tear itself. It's growing.
The observer. The sooner we get to him, the better.
I'm having trouble concentrating on the story and the dialogue, I must admit. There's a lot of names and fantasy jargon. That can be a bit of a problem sometimes. Nice. Ooh, we got a counter type deflection. Most range attacks can be countered with a deflection counter. A deflection counter diverts projectiles thrown by a low-class enemy before a barrier is hit. Over the course of your journey, Loot will learn how to divert range attacks from stronger enemies as well. So what's gonna happen is that I'll be fighting, and I constantly have to watch for these counter icons popping up. I gotta just be ready to press B, because they could just happen with my back turned or with the enemy off screen, is what I'm guessing. We'll see.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay. Launch them. Try knocking enemies into the air. Press X and A. Okay.
There's more.
I'm ready, sister.
Yay. They're encouraging you to get into the flow of combat. X followed by A, right? Yeah. Okay.
That sound. I can't stand it.
It must be him.
Challenge the Void. On your journey, you will come across some special portals. Interact with them to face a secret challenge that takes place in a special arena. Do your best and beat it to get a reward. Once unlocked, Void challenges can be replayed from the main menu at any time. Cool, looks like I found one. Well, let's check it out. Slayer 1. Slay all enemies before the time runs out.
What is this place?
I don't know. It seems like we crossed the veil this time.
Then we must find a way to go back.
Woo! What often happens, I found, is that you get the Ashen Knight Briar facing the camera, facing you, because the enemy actually in between me and Briar, as I'm just kind of, I gotta get a sense the enemy's there, so I just gotta hit towards, it's like strike into the monitor essentially. Like that, right? Hey, I got a reward. A malformed husk fragment. A small piece of the husk of a possessed. In large amounts, it can increase an Ashen Knight's maximum health. Collect 3 of them to obtain a sturdy husk chunk. Alright. We get things, we get things. As one and done. Do I have to go this way? Yeah. I think so. Emerald Tear Dust. Green chaotic residue from the tear pulverized to dust. Upon use, it restores a small part of an Ashen Knight's health. You can obtain it occasionally by defeating enemies. Some of these items kind of look very similar.
While all life must perish, that which is immortal is bound to be reborn. But the Shaper had no hand in your creation. Did he, sweet sisters?
You're our observer?
I was gonna say a couple of the names and terminologies reminds me of Dragon Age. The Veil, of course, and the Shaper. Coincidence?
I am Layton. I am here to assist you.
How exactly? An observer's talents won't be of much help in this fight.
Oh, I fight for the Order of the Ashen Blade in my own way. My presence here is proof enough of my worth. You, on the other hand, are said to be unstable, unruly, and unwilling to follow orders.
Our fame precedes us.
Why do you taunt us?
Your shade is speaking. And to me, how quaint.
Somehow, your authority as an observer is not enough to silence her. What happened here?
A tear opened, clearly. Its cause is unknown. But it's the largest yet seen, and, I do believe, getting larger still.
That's why all the freaks are out.
I doubt the Order will be able to hide this one from the masses.
And once it was open,
Many were corrupted, others were possessed. They saw to the rest.
The Order did not foresee it this time.
That is why you were called. You and your 2 comrades.
3 chimeras. At least the Ashen Blade is sparing no effort now.
Well, 2 chimeras. And you.
So caustic. Where are the others?
Strangely, those 2 did not wish to wait for you. You should hurry. Find them and help them. If you can. Don't scowl at me. I can offer powerful assistance, if you do well.
Then let us pray you remain safe.
Indeed. May the torchbearer light your way.
may the judge show you mercy.
And may the Shaper grant you fortune in this life. If that's what you can call it. The freight elevators will take you where you need to go.
Good.
Perhaps you will prove us all wrong. I will be watching.
Yes, of course. He's a shopkeep. Emerald Tear Shard for boosting health. Okay. Purchase in the screen. You can buy useful items. Hold X to acquire an Emerald Tear Shard. Skills. Press right button to access the skills page. Briar progression. Now you can enhance Briar's abilities. Press A to select Briar. Briar's abilities. Here you can acquire new combos and skills for each unlocked weapon. Press A to view the upgrades available for the Ashen Vindicator. Hold X to acquire Ferocious Assault. So this cut through the enemies in front of you with a series of quick blows. Prerequisite to unlock the Ashen Vindicator synergy attack. Commands. YY, pause, YYY. Okay, so the combo system is very similar to Bayonetta's combo system, where pausing between button presses is needed. Not a huge fan of that, personally. But let's roll with it. Piercing lunge, close in on an enemy with a forward thrust attack. Move forward. Move forward, move forward. Y. Y plus LB. Should I spend some points on loot? I can't. Okay. Oh, it's X plus A. It's one continuous move. Okay. So there's passives. Let's go in order. Oh, they don't let me buy this one? Even I just don't have enough. Oops. Okay. Not enough money. Talk.
You make fun of us. But what do you even know about our kind?
That the Order forges the chimeras, much like your big sword. Let us hope you're not brittle or blunt.
We're not weapons. We're people.
I find that argument quite hard to sustain in your current predicament. Anyway, each chimera is born of the union of two different souls, and each one develops their own abilities in a most peculiar way. I am truly eager to find out what the two of you can do.
This is your first time with us as our observer.
Indeed, I must have committed some horrible sin to deserve it. Oh, don't be so touchy. You'd better get used to my witty remarks anyway. Just as I'll have to accept that I'm stuck here with you.
To everyone their penance.
So we have the grumpy, the witty, and the wise. A well-assorted team indeed. I'm sure we'll get along just fine.
If you say so.
I'll go through these dialogue options.
We've dealt with
We'll
other
go through all
tears
of them.
before, but none as massive as this.
Definitely not the doing of a few rampaging wraiths.
They're always ripping and gnawing at the veil from the other side. Relentlessly.
Indeed. But something else must have happened here. We must find out what it was.
Layton, tell us the truth. How can you survive the dangers of this city?
Oh, I rely on my cunning first and foremost. But I also have this pendant. It emits a sound that hides my aura from those that would prey upon it.
I can hear it, and I can't stand it.
I can hear your jingling as well, in spite of my corrupted blood.
I am so glad to hear it. It means that I have nothing to fear from the two of you. For the time being, at least.
Oh, anything else I could buy? Another emerald tier. I already have. I have one. Should I get one more for the road? Farewell.
Judge's wisdom, dear sisters.
Okay, I will say that the dialogue is decent. I like Layton's voice acting. Yeah, it's not half bad. So I'm looking to stop here, and hoping I can do a save actually before I wrap this up. I assume though, now that I've talked to Layton and unlocked the shop, that I can't just autosave for me. But I will be wrapping up this first episode of Soulstice right about now. Alright, well, I'm trusting that when I hit continue next time, it's going to pop me back roughly where I was standing just now. And my overall first impression is I'm liking the game quite a bit. Combat mechanics are simple enough to understand. There seems to be some room for some depth and some mastery. The dual weapon system is interesting so far. And they've got a progression system to unlock moves for both, as well as you'll be able to upgrade your shade loot. The presence of loot is also interesting. The counter system, though, I'm not a huge fan of yet. It's a little weird with how they do the counters. You're kind of like stuck trying to watch for those icons popping up, and you have to check for the ranged attacks as well as for melee attacks. And sometimes the camera isn't in the great spots for combat. These are just my first initial impressions. I do think that the art is great. Overall art direction, it may not be totally up my alley, but I do appreciate that everything looks very nice. Lighting's great. The art direction, as I said, is great. Animations are solid. So overall, I'm liking what I'm playing and what I'm seeing. And with that, I will be doing a second video, probably later in the week. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But I thank you very much for watching. Do leave a like if you enjoy this type of content, and consider subscribing to my channel to support my endeavors in doing these type of videos. Until next time, you take care, and I'll see you around. Bye for now.